The two debtors. There was a certain creditor who had two debtors. One owed 500 denarii, the other 50. When they had nothing to repay, he freely forgave both. Who loved them more? The one who was forgiven more. And then there's a little story about Simon, who invited our Lord in. And there was a certain woman who washed his feet with tears and wiped his feet with her hair. And then the meat. Her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much. But those whom little is forgiven, the same loves little. The Good Samaritan. A certain man went down to Jerusalem, fell among thieves. They stripped him of clothes, wounded him, left him for dead. A certain priest came by. A certain Levi came by, looked, and passed to the other side. A certain Samaritan on his journey saw him, had compassion, bandaged his wounds, put oil on his head, brought him to the inn, took care of him. He left 2 denarii, gave him to the innkeeper, and said, "Take care of him. Whatever you spend, I will come again. I will repay you." For which of these 3 do you think loved his neighbor? Go likewise. The rich fool. The ground of a certain rich man yielded plenty. And he asked himself, "What should I do? I have no room for my crops. I will tear down my barns and build greater ones to store all my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, I have many goods laid up for many years. Take ease, drink, eat, be merry." But God said to him, "Fool, this night your soul will be required of you. Those things will be a waste. So he who lays up treasure for himself is not rich towards God." There's dudes that preach this word who have millions, 42 million. One guy has 1 billion and a $6 million mansion. Trust me, the fish starts sinking from the head. If you look at these men and who's underneath them, you will get what I mean. You will get what God means. The lost coin. What woman having 10 silver coins, if she loses one, does not light a lamp and search for that coin, and when she finds it, shall call her friends? Rejoice with me. I have found the piece I have lost. Likewise, there is joy in the presence of the angels over one sinner who repents. The lost son. This is the prodigal son. The younger son asks for half his inheritance, or half the inheritance. He goes out and he spends it on prodigal living. He spends it on whores and partying. There was a severe famine in the land, and he had to get a job cleaning and feeding the pigs. And one day he looks at the pig slop and he says, "Man, I'm hungry. I'll eat that stuff." And then after a while he says, "You know, my father, he hires these servants and they have bread to spare, but I will perish for hunger." So he decides to go back to his father, and his father is waiting for him the whole time. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be your son. Give me a job as one of your servants." And his father says, "I have compassion," starts kissing him on the neck. Tells his other servants, "Bring out the best robe, put it on him, put a ring on his finger, sandals on his feet, most likely Birkenstocks. Bring the fattened calf, kill, and let's eat, and let's party. For my son was dead, and now is alive. For my son was dead and now is alive. Now the older son was jealous. Says, man, I follow your commandments, but I got no calf. I got a goat. Not even a goat. And his dad says, listen, you've been with me. You'll get all I have. But this son, he was dead and now is alive. Have mercy on your brother. He was dead and now is alive. What was lost is now found.